All right, solving equations, not pretty equations. That's what we're doing right now. I'm just going to go and we're going to have some fun. Okay, first off, my job is to get x all by itself. X is not even close to being all by itself, so I'm going to combine these like terms right here. I have negative 4x's and negative 6x's. That combines to make negative 10x's. And on the left side, I have negative 20. Okay, so in this case, I had to combine like terms. And then after combining like terms, I end up with that. Is x all by itself over here? No. What's in the way? Negative 10. How do I get rid of negative 10? Well, negative 10 is being multiplied to x. So the opposite of being multiplied to is divided by. So if I divide both sides by negative 10, that crosses out. I get x over there on the right. On the left, I have negative 20 divided by negative 10, which is positive 2. I hate the way that looks. So I'm going to actually change that to x equals 2 because soon we will talk about inequalities, and you really should have your variable on the left side for inequalities because you're going to have to graph them. Okay? So it started out looking like that, ended up looking like that. Let's do another one. All right, baby. Testing out this new document camera that I got. Pretty dope, huh? All right. P on the left, 2 p's on the right. I'm going to combine them. So I have p minus 1 equals 8p minus 8. If you're given a problem where you have variables on both sides of the equal sign and you can combine like terms or do distributive property, you should do distributive property first, then combine like terms. Always the best way to go, always the best way to go. Now that I have variables on both sides of the equal sign, what I want to do is get rid of the smallest one. You could subtract 8p if you wanted to, but I'd rather subtract regular p because what that usually does is give you a positive variable over here. So I'm going to drop down negative 1 equals 8p minus p is 7p minus 8. Is p all by itself? No. What's in the way? 7's being multiplied. Anything else? Yep. Negative 8's being just floating around. So I'm going to add 8 to both sides because it's the opposite. Add 8 to both sides. And after I do that, I'm going to have 7 equals 7p. All right. Distributive property. Is x all by itself? No, but not only that, I have all this other stuff. So if you see distributive property when solving equations, that should always be your first step unless you have exponents to deal with first. I don't have any exponents to deal with. I have negative 4 times negative 6x. Negative 4 times negative 6x is going to be positive 24x. Negative 4 times negative 3 is going to be positive 12. On the left side, I still have 12. Okay? Let's see if I can fix the focus a little bit. All right. Is x all by itself? No. What's in the way? 24 and 12. Let's get rid of the 12 first. Minus 12, cross that out. 12 minus 12 is 0. Now, right now, you might be freaking out and saying, oh, I did something wrong. No, you didn't. Because 0 is allowed to be an answer. I have 24x equals 0. Is x all by itself? No. What's in the way? 24. How is 24 in the way? It's being multiplied. So in order to get rid of it, you have to divide both sides by 24. Divide both sides by 24. 0 divided by 24 is 0. That equals x. I hate the way that looks, so I'm going to write out x equals 0. And that's my answer. More. I have 24a minus 22. That equals negative 4 times 1 minus 6a. I have variables on both sides. More importantly, I have distributive property. So I'm going to do distributive property on the right side. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 times negative 6a is positive 24a. Very interesting. Because on the left, I have 24a and minus 22. At this stage, you should say, my goodness gracious me, I see a 24a on the left and a 24a on the right. So if I were to subtract both sides by 24a, which is what I'm supposed to do because there's variables on both sides of the equal sign, that crosses out, but also that crosses out. And you drop down the negative 22, and you drop down the negative 4. Now my variables are gone. No more variables. And it says negative 22 equals negative 4. Is that a true statement? No. So what's the solution? There is no solution. If your variables disappear and you get something that's not true, like negative 22 equals negative 4 in this case, there is no solution. If your variables disappear and you get something that is true, like if we were to do this work and all of a sudden we do blah, 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 and we get 8 equals 8, in that situation, it would be infinite solutions. That's not what we had here, though. Okay, our variables disappeared, and we ended up with something that's not true, like that guy, and so we said no solutions. Ooh, last one, and it's a doozy. Oh, it's a doozy. Oh, it's a doozy, all right. So we got distributive property twice, and we have variables on both sides of the equal sign. On the right side, we have 2 variables. On the left side, we have 2 variables with 2 distributive properties. So let's do it. Negative 5 times 1 is negative 1. Negative 5 times negative 5x is negative times a negative is a positive. 5 times 5 is 25, and x comes along for the ride. Distributive property part 1. Distributive property part 2 is 5 times negative 8x, which is going to be negative 40x. 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. That's going to equal negative 4x minus 8x. I haven't switched colors at all this entire time. Shame on me. On the left side, I have a 25x and a negative 40x. Combine them, negative 15x. Also on the left side, I have negative 5 and negative 10. Combine those to get you negative 15. On the right side, I have negative 4x and negative 8x. Combine those to get you negative 12x. So I have a variable on the left, a regular number on the left, variable on the left, a regular number on the left, and a variable on the right. I have variables on both sides of the equal sign. So I prefer to get rid of the smallest one first. What does that look like? Well, if I were to take the smallest one, negative 15x, and do the opposite, I would add 15x to both sides. Plus 15x plus 15x, cross that out. Bring down the negative 15. Negative 12x plus 15x is 3x. Is x all by itself? No. What's in the way? 3. How do I get rid of that 3? Divide it. Divide everything by 3. And I have negative 5 equals x. But again, I hate the way that looks, so I'm going to write it out as x equals negative 5. Okay?